Alright, welcome back everyone for another video with KM Vlogs. And today is Monday, which means another Bible study video. And this one I'm actually really excited for because I had just, literally just this morning, put in another page into this one. I took so much notes on chapter 28 that I literally had to put in a page. Okay, so, oops. See, there's the page. Oh gosh, I just dropped my picture. So yeah, I got 3 on this one, and then I got 4 on this side. And I highlighted. Well, I used my color pencils, but I highlighted quite a bit on this one. Oh. I keep dropping. I really need to just glue this in. It's actually a picture. I really shouldn't be showing it to you guys, but it is a picture of my brother and his family in Texas. His wife and his 2 kids, my nephew, niece. They are my inspiration for continuing down this path to being a Christian. Now, granted, like I said, I know Discord, my friends from Discord were the ones who, quote unquote, converted me back over to being a Christian from being a Norse pagan. And I have to say I'm really grateful to them for that. But my brother, his wife, and his 2 kids are the only family I have left biologically, with the exception of my son. So they are literally my inspiration for continuing down this path, especially since my niece literally less than a month ago just made the decision herself to get baptized. And then her brother before her got baptized a little bit before that. I think last year sometime. Woo. So yeah, they are my inspiration. So yeah, one of these times, I have their picture up here in the front of my Bible, quite literally the front of it. It was their picture from last year, Christmas picture. I really should just go a little bit into my Bible there, but I haven't done it yet. Anyways, so let's go ahead and dive into Genesis 28. Just a reminder too, I am reading from the ESV version, so if you guys have something different, like a New King James or King James, it might sound slightly different, okay? And then, like I said, we'll go back over the notes and see if I do have any reflections. No, that's 27 and that's 29. No, I do not. Okay, so good. So I don't have any reflections. I can just read the chapter and then just go straight into the actual notes. And like I said, I have 3 on one page, and on the back I have 4. Okay. Then Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and directed him. You must not take a wife from the Canaanite woman. Arise, go to Padam Arama, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take as your wife from there one of the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. God Almighty bless you and make you fruitful and multiply you, that you may become a company of others. I keep wanting to call it company or companion. I don't know why. May he give the blessing of Abraham to you and to your offspring with you, that you may take possession of the land of your sovereigns that God gave Abraham. Thus Isaac sent Jacob away, and he went to Padam Arama to Laban, the son of Bethuel, the Aramean, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob's and Esau's mother. Now Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Padam Aram to take a wife from there, and that as he blessed him, he directed him, you must not take a wife from the Canaanite woman, and that Jacob had obeyed his father, and his mother had gone they had obeyed his father and mother, and gone to Padan Aram. So when Esau saw that the Canaanite woman did not please Isaac his father, Esau went to Ishmael and took as a wife, besides the wives he had, Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebaioth. I'm probably butchering those names. Jacob left Beersheba and went toward Haran, and he came to a certain place and stayed there that night, because the sun had set. Taking one of the stones of the place, he put it under his head and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, there was a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham, your father, and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie I will give to you and to your offspring. Your offspring shall be like the dust of the earth, and you shall spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in you and your offspring shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Behold, I am with you, and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to the land, for I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. Then Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. And he was afraid, and he said, How awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. So early in the morning Jacob took the stone that he had put under his head and set it up for a pillar, and poured oil on top of it. He called the name of that place Bethel, but the name of the city was Luz before. Then Jacob made a vow, saying, If God will be with me, and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and clothing to wear, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then the Lord shall be my God, and the stone which I have set up for a pillar shall be God's house, and of all that you give me, I will give a full tenth to you. Yeah. That is that. Alright, so we're going to go back to the beginning part here now, and we're going to just kind of nitpick it. Alright, so the first thing I want to point out is when Isaac called Jacob. At this point, he's literally resigning to the fact that this is the Lord's will. He's literally resigning himself to the Lord's will. He basically just gave up. Originally, Esau was the one who was supposed to inherit all of this. He was supposed to be the head of the household because he's the firstborn. But God didn't want that. God had made very known from the very beginning when they were not even born yet that the younger would be the head of the household and the older would serve the younger. So at this point now he is completely just resigning to it. So he called Jacob and blessed him. He said, You must not take a wife from the Canaanite women, and rise and go to Padan and take a wife from there. Okay, so it was essential, really essential, that Jacob not take a wife from the daughters of the Canaan, as his brother did, and that was because Jacob was the one to carry on the seed to the Messiah. Okay, and then he goes on to saying, God Almighty bless you. Okay. Now, first off, I want to point out that God Almighty is referring to El Shaddai. Okay, that's another form of God Almighty. And he's like saying, bless you and make you fruitful and multiply, that you may become a company of peoples, and he may give you the blessing of Abraham. Okay, now first off, I want to really point out that Jacob was by no means worthy of this blessing. They all acted, everyone in this whole entire thing, acted in an unspiritual manner somewhere along the line, but God brought any good out of this. Okay, so right now, Isaac is literally saying the blessing of Abraham. Okay, and Abraham is his father. Okay, Isaac's father, not Jacob's. So when he says the blessing of Abraham, he's literally talking about the covenant, the aspect of his birthright, or it was technically Esau's birthright, but now it's his. Says he's giving him the blessing of Abraham to him, his offspring, to the possessions that he may take possessions of the land of the sovereigns that God gave Abraham, and so on and so on. The literal deep definition of the covenant. At that point, Isaac sent Jacob away, and he went. He actually listened. He went, and he went to Padam, to the house, to where Laban is, the son of Bethuel. Okay, so at this point, he basically went home to where Rebecca was raised. And at this point, he probably wouldn't see his dad for close to 20-some years, to basically where he's near on his deathbed. So at this point, it's kind of like basically a goodbye at this point. I mean, he's going to be able to come back to see his dad on his deathbed, but this is the last time he's going to really see his dad. Okay. Then it goes into how Esau is overhearing all of this, okay? It has to be my eye or something. Okay. Now Esau had heard or saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away, and that the Canaanite woman did not please him. He was told not to take a wife from there. So at this point, he is mainly just wanting to impress Isaac, his father, by marrying a non-Canaanite woman. Kind of like a mockery of how important the birthright too is to him. Like, not like he really cares, but he cares enough to try and make an impression of his father. Okay, so he goes and he marries Ishmael's one of Ishmael's daughters, who Ishmael is his uncle. But he's gone to that point of trying to impress his father to that point. So Jacob left Beersheba and went toward Haran, which is eastward towards the ancestral lands. Okay, and he came to a certain place and he stayed the night, and this is where he had a dream, and this is where most of my notes come from. Okay. So he says, and he dreamed, and behold, there's a ladder set up in the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven, and behold, the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. Okay, so the first off, I'm going to read this here. Jesus made it clear in John 1:51 that he is the access to heaven. He is the means by which heaven comes down to us and by which we can go to heaven. Jesus Messiah is the ladder. So that's why the angels are going up and down on it, kind of. They said, and behold, the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. Jesus is the ladder. Okay, Jesus is the way to heaven. He doesn't show us the way, he is the way. And then I have a reference to John 14:6, where he is the only way to heaven. Okay, so in the dream, there is now access to heaven, and it's because, like I said, he is going in the process. Jacob's in the process of going to fulfill the Messiah line. Okay, by marrying a non-Canaanite woman, he is setting the line to the Messiah all up, which means the ladder is now fulfilled. Well, maybe not fulfilled, but it is in the process of it, because like I said, Jesus is the ladder. And as I had mentioned here, Jacob was the one to carry on the seed of the Messiah. So his line, him marrying a non-Canaanite woman, will lead to Mary, to Joseph, to all of them, which will be in turn leading to Jesus' birth. Okay, and he says, and behold, the Lord stood above it, and it said, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham, your father, and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie, I will give to you and to your offspring. All of this. This is literally the covenant that he made with Abraham, and he's basically just restating it. So at this point, he's making a personal appearance to Jacob right now in a dream. And then he says, behold, I am with you. Now the whole I am with you part is a present blessing and blessing of his presence. He says, I will keep and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. So he's literally promising to uphold and fulfill the covenant that he had made with Abraham to Jacob. Okay, so the one thing I want to point out is right now Jacob is in this desolate wilderness, okay, and Jacob is having a very significant dream as he uses a stone for a pillow. So first thing is, one can only imagine like the flood of emotions that Jacob could possibly feel, on the fear, the loneliness, the isolation, the excitement and anticipation. But this is an extremely important point in Jacob's life. One thing will actually lead to another and to another and so on. It leads to where we are right now. If Jacob did not have his dream, if Jacob didn't marry who he's going to marry later on, the Messiah could have possibly not been born, which means none of the thing we read could have been possibly possible. I do want to point out 15 here. Okay, I mainly just want to point it again, really, where it says, behold, I am with you. And will keep you wherever I go, and will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you until I have done what I promised you. I want to point that verse specifically out because God had gave Jacob the same kind of promise found in Philippians 1:6. God won't let us go until his work is complete in us. So let me go to Philippians 1:6 real quick, and I'll show you what I mean. If I can find it. Hold on a second. Alright, here we go. I couldn't find it. It says here in Philippians 1:6, it says, I am sure of this, that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Christ, or at the day of Jesus Christ. So as I kind of mentioned here in this verse here, it says it says, I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. So just as I mentioned too, God won't let us go until he has completed what he has done for us or in us, or whatever the case is. And at this point, Jesus had made it very clear that the way to heaven is through him. His work's not done. Okay. And then he goes on. So he says, surely the Lord is in this place and did not know it. Now, he was right in sensing the presence of the Lord there, but he's kind of wrong in the aspect that he did not, what it says, I did not know it, but God is everywhere. So it doesn't matter where this place is, God is everywhere. So he was right to assume that God was there, but he should have just assumed that God was everywhere, not just that place too. Okay. And then he says, this is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. And he says, how awesome is this place? Now, if God wasn't with him in every place, then God could never fulfill his promise. And that's why I wanted to point out how God is everywhere, not just this place, not just that place, not just this place right here where I'm at. He's everywhere. Alright, so then it says, Jacob got up early in the morning. He took the stone, he set it upon a pillar, and he poured oil out of it, and he called the place Bethuel. But the name of the city was Luz at first. Okay. Now, Bethuel plays an important role in Israel's history. Okay, it does play a very big part in Israel's history. Now, I do have some reference verses to Bethuel that I'm just going to give you guys. I'm not going to actually go and read them for you guys, but if you guys want to check them out, go ahead. I have Genesis 31:13, which that one is literally right here. I will read that one, where it says, I am the God of Bethuel. That's 13. And then I have 1 Kings 13:32, Hosea 10:15, and Amos 4:4. So those are all those verses that are referencing to Bethuel and are pretty good. Okay, so I would go check them out if you guys want to see what they're referring to. But like I said, I'm not going to go doing so right now. Alright. So then Jacob goes into making a vow, and he's saying how if God will be with me, and da 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 da. Okay, but first thing I want to point out is if God will be with me. That can be basically translate into since God be with me, but more than likely, since kind of Jacob is not exactly, he has a little bit of doubt. He probably does mean if God be with me, but it can be translated to be since God be with me. And he's making references say that if God will keep him, protect him, and provide for him, that God will be his God, and that the stone that he has set up will be God's house, and that all that you give me, I will give full tenths to you. Now, there is a big contrast between God's vows and Jacob's vows, and one was God-centered, and one was man-centered. Obviously, you guys can tell which one was man-centered. So he made the deal instead of being humble to the arrangement that God had made him. But I mean, that's because he's human. Okay, he's not God, so that does play a big factor in it. And that is end of the chapter, end of the thing. The next chapter goes into how Jacob marries Leah and Rachel, which is probably one of my favorite stories when it comes to Jacob in general. And then it goes into Jacob's children, which is quite extensive. Jacob's prosperity. Jacob flees from Laban. Goes on to Jacob. This is next several chapters are all about Jacob. So yes, I'm saying that's what I have so far on chapter 28, and I will do chapter 29 not next week, but the week after that. Next Monday will be the next chapter or the next part of Matthew 5. and that'll be actually the final section of Matthew 5. I'm hoping to really get through that, but and hopefully I do justice to its information. So, just trying to fix this real quick. My that's one thing I don't like about these. I have too many little ribbons. But yes, so too many ribbons. Anyways, so that is what I have. This coming Thursday will be a study with me video. It'll be about like a 40-minute long video. Just saying, I might even push it out to as far as like an hour. I will have music on, and I will just be kind of studying here. Just studying them. You guys can play the video anytime you want, over and over if you guys want to. You guys can make repeat, but the idea is just to kind of just chill out for a little bit and just study. And like I said, I'll have music on. I will have the microphone on, but it won't be pointed towards me. The microphone will be pointed towards the TV, so you guys can actually just listen to the music. If you guys have a certain preference on music, what you guys want to listen to, let me know. I don't do, I'm not doing lyrics, okay? I don't do actual songs. I do ambient music. So like when I say about that, I mean, I don't have my tab or anything. I mean, ambience, jazz, hip hop. A lot of the times I will put on just rain noise, or the last time I did this, I had, as weird as it sounds, I had Halloween sounds on, where it had the creepy screaming, the creepy door creeping. There's another one I had where it was just like the sound of water running and crickets. I have a bunch of different ambience ones. I even have one where it has just the leaf turning, pages turning, cauldron stirring, potion making kind of stuff. I have a lot of ambience. I listen to them a lot at work whenever I really don't want to walk around in silence, but I don't want to listen to music or stories, which lately I've been getting into more of that. I don't want to listen to stories, but I don't like just the silence of like the cars running, so I'll just listen to pages turning or clinking of glasses or something like that, just kind of mellowing ambient noises. More than likely I won't do the Halloween one, because that was just kind of weird to put it with a Bible studying. But if you guys got something in particular you guys want to listen to, like you like listening to like you like listening to rain noises, thunderstorms, frogs croaking, crickets chirping, that kind of stuff, let me know in the description below. And I might actually I might be able to narrow down my search for tomorrow. But yes. So, I'm going to go ahead and go. And I will see you guys this coming Thursday. You guys have a great week. And hopefully it stays nice and sunny out. Hopefully. Alright, bye guys.